What you want to do? What you want to do? Guess a part 2.
If you're going to bring me up and you're somebody that's in my inner circle and you talk to me, grill them. Don't just let them talk smack. For those of you who haven't heard the interview, I encourage you to go listen to it because Cam otherwise did a fantastic job. And I love that brother. And I'm going to show up on this show as well. I bet you he'll have better questions for me than he did for Jason Whitlock.
That's not the only way to conduct the interview, and I'm going to wait till we do that video, but I think Cam Newton even brought up the Carmelo Anthony interview, LeBron James, obviously. I'm going to let him speak for himself. But some interviews, and I've seen Stephen A., everybody has done them. Some interviews, Club Shay Shay is known for this. Hey, the floor is yours. Go get it, right? And actually, Club Shay Shay, the biggest interview ever, at least on YouTube, was an interview where he let Cat Williams go. Okay, now you can protect your friends. You got some friends that are comedians. You got some friends he's talking about. You got some associates, etc. But is that your job in that moment to push back on things that you really don't know? Not all of them, but you're speaking for someone else. How am I going to know everything that this person in front of me is feeling if I'm just going to speak for someone who's not even here right now? And how accurate is that? How real is that? So I'm not mad at how Cam conducted the interview. Matter of fact, I was a little surprised that he even went to those depths. He was like, hey, I'll be remiss if I ain't talk about you and Stephen A. Now, go get it. I think he did a fantastic job.
Emmanuel Acho Marcellus Wiley. I have my disagreements with y'all from time to time, but I appreciate y'all comments about me.
Y'all just sound like a real relationship, you know what I mean? Like, none of us are perfect. None of us agree with everything. If we agree with everything that someone else says, then we don't really have a relationship, a friendship, anything. So that's just being real. But I'm glad you acknowledge it because there's no hate, big dog. Like I don't think there's really no jealousy between you and Jason Whitlock, but let you talk.
Play that, please. Both of them, back to back, so people could know how supportive they were.
Back to back.
It sounds like a hater. Because, again, say what you will about Stephen A., and I've said a lot. Stephen A. is the best in the business. And it is not particularly close. So Jason Whitlock, to me, he might be right about Stephen A.'s basketball career. Who cares? Stephen A.'s not a pro basketball player. But he's dead wrong about Stephen A. on TV. I think that.
Let me stop right there. Who cares? The care part comes if the foundation is a lie, then has the lies even stopped? A lot of times you look at the Jason Whitlock argument and you're saying, well, why are you going so far back? Even now I'm a little perplexed. Okay, 40 years ago he was a liar. Is he still a liar is the conversation Jason wants to have. And he's like, yes. And that is messing with people's legacies. That's messing with how we are communicating sports and sports media. That's messing with how we're interpreting and receiving things from First Take, ESPN, et cetera. Because this dude is still lying. And I'm going to show you where it started. So you can't dismiss that because that is a real lane. Even if you want to say, okay, he was a liar then, he's not lying now. Say that, okay? But you can't say, oh, who cares if he's a liar? What? Now, him being the best, duh, Pat McAfee is on line one, but at the same time, look, they the top dogs looking at each other, whether they're looking up a little, looking down at each other a little bit. Point is, they at the same altitude, same stratosphere. We get it. All right, continue.
This was a low ball move for sure from Whitlock, but it's on brand for him. And unfortunately, sometimes people just have a brand.
What's crazy is like he's such a good villain.
No, he's a great villain.
He is.
Like I said, I give him credit for that. Like he gets
a good villain. He goes at like women and children.
Yeah.
Like he does like the criminal thing you're not supposed to do. Any marginalized community, he's like, they can get it.
Yeah.
Mentally handicapped.
Come on, man. Dropping the R word in 2026, you don't care. You don't
He don't care at all.
He doesn't care.
Bro, he all right, bro.
And then the worst part, though, he does it all under the guise of Christianity. That's the worst part. Like, he does it all under.
Modern context, a lot of people do that under the guise of Christianity.
Right? But, like, it's the craziest thing.
Let me say this, blah, 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 before I speak, I guess. I remember when somebody hit me over the head with the fact that more people have died in holy wars than any other way in this world, if you want to really categorize death. And I was like, pretty interesting. So under the guise of Christianity, yeah, a lot of people have lost their life under the guise of religion. Okay, if you want to call it the guys. Here's the thing. Acho, you got to remember this, and let's be biblical, and let's be real. Let me support you in this one, because I was just in church maybe a month ago when I heard this, and it was in this order. I will read from Proverbs, which is the book of wisdom, 6:16 and 17, and it says, there are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him. You want to know the order? Haughty eyes, then a lying tongue. Ain't it crazy that they are literally having a battle over haughty eyes and a lying tongue, right? Jason Whitlock, you have haughty eyes. You're always being critical of other people. You're going after other people. You're looking at them like this. You're going after Stephen A. Smith. You're going 40 years back with those haughty eyes, right? How dare you? And then at the same time, lying tongue. Oh, Stephen A. Smith, 17 threes in a row, 6-inch screw in your knee. You played, but you didn't play, but you averaged 1.5 points in one game. So that's what this is all about. Literally, the first stories of life are being manifested right now in a beef. Isn't that crazy? Like they are literally, and if you want to go into order, the haughty eyes is worse, or at least first in terms of what was described. So, Tell me if this thought bubble is going in your head. Okay. Even if it is a lie, that's why you hate him? Is because he's a fraud and he lied his way into this position? It's a lot of ways into it, but doesn't the end justify the means? I don't know. Some guys have lied themselves into great positions. Remember in the game when they were giving out all the jobs to the best players? Remember there was a day with Jerry Rice and Emmitt Smith, and they didn't do the best in media, but they gave them the job because they were the best at sports. Then we realized, we don't need to give it to the best. We need to give it to just who can entertain, who can inform, right? So if Stephen A. didn't have the best sports career, does that really negate the fact that he is the best in sports media, the biggest in sports media? That's my thought bubble. Tell me if y'all had the same one. Okay, let me explain that. I finally got the technical part in. Let me explain that a little more. The thing is how he started. Did he lie or did he not lie? I think he lied. I think he embellished at minimum. I think he did what everybody does when they go to college. Oh, if I'm from the hood, now all of a sudden on the college campus, I'm gangster. Oh, if I had some identity issues in high school, now I'm on the college campus, I'm protesting everything. Like, everybody just amps it up. I think he amped up the story for sure at minimum, if not just straight out lied. But we can disconnect that from, is he lying right now? Well, Stephen A., I don't catch him in lies. Now, he race-based at times, and he certainly knows that he wants to talk about things more, and the LeBron tour and the hate tour and the Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Like, I don't think that's lying. I think that's playing a role. But what Jason Whitlock is saying is that whole role comes from the fact that he ain't who he is. He's not himself. He's not authentic. He's not real. So that's why you just can't dismiss it. I know it's 40 years ago, but then you can't dismiss it when you see some of these things that are occurring in present day. But they're not lies. Like back in those days, that looks like a lie, right? Embellished to the fullest, if not a lie. Hate to tell somebody they're a liar, but you're certainly not telling the truth. But now it's just, what you talking about? All the issues that we've talked about over the years with Stephen A. Smith. So I just wanted to make sure that we have a disconnect. We have a disconnect. We need to look at one different than the other. If not, you're going to blend them all together, and then you're going to come to the summation. This doesn't make any sense because it doesn't add up. He could have lied back then, and now he's not lying. He's just a different dude on these certain issues. Simple as that.
Hey, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I really mean it.
I know. I'm here.
Not just to Emmanuel Acho, but even to the curly-haired, light-skinned cat. Don't know his name right now.
Special
He
ed.
tried to call me out over the Zion Williamson thing.
DeBarge.
All I would ask in the future, fellas, is that when y'all talking about me, particularly with the Zion situation, could you do your homework? Because it's one thing to watch the league, it's another thing to cover it. What I said about Zion, I wasn't insulting him. I was telling the truth. It was in his contract. There was a food clause. It's the truth.
Yeah, but they ain't call him an addict. See, that's what I'm saying, the embellishing part, which is to Jason Whitlock's part. Like, look, I've seen contracts too. I had a teammate that weighed 419 pounds. You want to know how many times he got fined a day? Like, he got fined not every day. He got fined within the day. Like, you better lose this weight today or else we finding you again. You got to 5 o'clock. Don't know if it was in his contract, but I've never seen a contract where they called you a food addict. You went there. That's what we're saying. That's what everyone's trying to figure out. They're like, how far will you go with these stories to embellish it? How much extra sauce, how much special sauce are you putting on these meals? That's what people are asking.
There are folks who watch the league, and there are folks who cover it. I cover the league. Remember that.
You checking y'all over there, speak easy. He ain't talking to me like that. Hell no. I cover the league, yeah. Watch the league, yeah. Played in the league, yeah. I'm over here now. Let me stop.
Marcellus Wiley, appreciate you too.
What's up, baby?
Although you could be a bit more forceful in addressing Jason, because you know a lot of brothers and sisters in the business, and you know what he's done.
Let me stop there. Hold on now. Jason got enemies. You got enemies. I don't really have any enemies. A couple, yes, I do, actually. Damn it, D.L. Hughley, Ryan Clark. Okay, nobody else. They don't count. So here's the thing. I don't have enemies, and I don't have problems with people. If they got a problem with me, that's their problem with me, not my problem with them, right? Y'all both got enemies. Y'all both got people like, oh. I mean, you just went through the whole Michelle Beto and Kerry Champion and even Jamil chimed in. Like, everybody, and I know Jason got his, Mike Hill, Chris Broussard, I could go. But I also know people that love him. Like, even TJ Hushmanzada defended him while the whole Speak Easy show was going in on Whitlock. He's like, I ain't got no problem with Whitlock. I never have. And he used to do our show. All them cats used to do the show. Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, Jimmy Jackson, Slick Rick the Bucher. Come on, Darnell Smith. I could go. Uncle Jimmy. So I'm not the one that's gonna look out for somebody else while they ain't there. I'm listening to why you got a problem with them. Simple as that. I'm not Cam, and I don't think Cam should even take it. Since he on your show, that's good. On your show, Stephen A. Smith, I know we play by your rules. You don't like shoes in your house? Okay, I'll take my shoes off. But in my house, we can wear shoes. And Jason Whitlock can't talk about you. And you shouldn't hold that against him, because if you are Stephen A. Smith, if you are going to hold that against Whitlock, guess what Kwame Brown was right about? That there is a get-along gang. Ooh, you don't want to admit that there is a get-along gang. And Ryan Clark chimed in on this subject, and we're going to do a video on that because he's trying to prove there is a get-along gang. Y'all don't want that on y'all. Kwame said it. We don't want to believe it, but it could be real.
I still appreciate y'all. Any kind of disagreement that we may have or whatever about a particular subject, ladies and gentlemen, please know I don't care. You have every right to disagree with me. I don't have any problem with anybody attacking my points and telling me why they disagree with me. I only got a problem when you attack me as a
That's a real problem. Yeah. Attacking you is a problem. And calling you a liar when you say you didn't lie, okay, just prove you didn't lie. That's the only thing that I think that Whitlock is still breathing through. Like, he's surviving off of, you're saying, why are you coming at me? Why are you attacking me? But to disprove the lie, which is tough. If you're like, look, how do I? There's no film of 17 three-pointers in a row. Why do you even care? It's 40 years ago. I understand where we are. I understand this tug of war, but damn it, just prove he's lying.
Person. I don't think I deserve that, because there's a lot of people that have been in precarious situations at FS1 and ESPN and beyond, and you don't hear me saying a word.
Yeah, that's real. Blah, blah, blah. That is real. Stephen A. Smith, I give him props. He can go as crazy as it gets, and as crazy as it's been, it could be crazier if Stephen A. chimed in on all of it. And he doesn't typically. But he picks his times, and when he picks his times, that's where we are. And right now, somehow, some way, Whitlock has gotten to Stephen A. Smith. And I'm not talking about this whole how many times I talk about you. I'm talking about how you respond. Because you don't have to respond at all. You really don't if you don't want to. And you can if you do. And it ain't that deep. You do what you want to do. But the way you're doing it, just disprove them. Just say, all right, you say A, B, C, D. here's why you are lying about me. And I think everybody be like, oh, snap. But right now it's on this whole jealousy thing. Jason is not jealous of you. I just know it. Jason walked away from Fox. So if he's jealous of Stephen A., why would you ever give away the keys to the car that could take you to where Stephen A. Smith is? And look, that's a long-ass drive for everybody, me included. But still, why would you give away those keys? He walked away from Fox. He walked away from the show. I literally went on the air and said, Whitlock was supposed to be here. He gone. He left me stranded for like a month in the backyard in the pandemic. I remember. So I don't think it's a jealousy conversation. I think it's just a choice of different paths that they don't see eye to eye on, and then everybody's questioning your moves on that path. Welcome to, hey, if the athletes get criticized every move they make, you want to criticize the athletes? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you dish it out, you got to take it. And you go, trust me, if you dealing with Whitlock and Whitlock dealing with Stephen A. Smith, both of y'all going to dish it out and both of y'all going to take it. Because y'all know both of you guys care, even if you act like you don't. Beat up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this situation. There's so many more angles. Cam Newton's angle. He got to defend himself for why he let Whitlock go. Ryan Clark, he jumped into it saying, hey, Cam, what you doing? You know, like you got Stephen A. Ops on your show and you over there letting him go. We got to talk about that. A lot more. I told you, life lessons come through sports. And itty bitties come through the back. Oh, give me some. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Golly. Hi, beautiful. Give me some. You say hello. Hi, baby. You say hi. You got to say hi because I'm about to get off. Say hi.
I'm going to have my own show like my daddy.
Oh, you're going to try to make me cry. Oh, go, girl. That's right. You do you, okay? That's right. Academics, athletics, and great character. That's all we got to get. Love you. All right. All right, y'all. I got to go. They got to go to school. Itty bitty time. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that wasn't enough? Y'all want some more? Well, check out the link in my bio. Hydration Situation Live. Blah, blah, blah. It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I think the birds.
Time to hydrate. Hydration situation. So